All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our November meeting. Public Works, Transportation, Public Facilities. Myself, Ray Smith, Magneto, Gene Supervisor, Controller, and Kathleen here, and Seth was our attendance. The minutes were sent out to everybody by email, so I'll accept a motion to approve the minutes for both apps of the meeting.
I'll move.
So moved, I need a second. Seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Not opposed. All right, great, thank you. Okay. Mr. Smith.
All right, so number 2 here, highway crews. So this is between our last meeting and now. The crews did a few larger drainage repairs, some backyard work, some culvert ends that we had identified over the years. So we took care of a few of them before leaf season got started off. Trees, out trimming and resident request, dead limbs and such like that.
I
So,
spoke to a resident Saturday about that exact thing. He lived on Regent Street over there on Muskie. Concerned about old limbs and trees. They said, what we need to do is please call the highway department if they see things that need attention, they'll come out.
yeah, the old part of town has been really our focus, been a majority of our calls. Silver Maples, we know where's their end, so we try to self-monitor plus whatever calls we get, so. That keeps us busy with that. And we did a extensive patching for a week and a half of getting stuff that has been identified as plowing hazard for the winter. When we still could get hot mix, we went out and ring manholes and catch basins that stick up that would hinder our way of plowing. So we got a lot of that done. Also some potholes and stuff like that have been identified. Number 3, personnel. I still have 1 vacancy in the Parks Department. I still get applications in. I have some that I have to do for interviews. I have a handful of ones to interview.
Do you think you'll have a resume for that or?
I put it on here as a reso. I hope to. I mean, I think out of the ones that we have, hopefully we'll be able to get a candidate out of there. And the ones that we had resoed a month ago are coming along. Margot keeps me updated on their progress. I think they just have a little bit of navigator stuff to do,
Yeah,
so.
it's just been a little slow. But trying to help. So,
Yeah, I understand. No, that's, your people do a great job at it. Number 4, parks crews. Been mowing all the parks, trying to get leaves picked up on boulevards. We bounce in and out of, the different projects. So the sidewalks here at Town Hall were finished up between the last meeting and now. Landscaped and complete. So those are another thing up here that was taken off the list. We bounce in and out of River Road as weather permits us, when we're not able to mow because it's too wet, which we found a lot this year. We'll go work on a project a little bit and try to utilize the day for what it is. So we'll continue to do that. Number 5, yard waste. So this time of year, my whole crew is on leaves. 3 leaf crews consumes my whole department with no spares. So The crews are currently finishing up zone 1. We have 2 crews on county roads today. Within zone 1. When we do county roads, what we have to do is dissolve one of the 3 crews so that we have adequate flagging on the county roads. We have to have county flaggers for their safety and also for the cars going up and down the road. So we dissolved the 3rd crew, and that makes up enough to put flaggers on the crew. So that's where we're at with that. This week we didn't have any overtime because of the amount that was out. You know, when we had the rain last weekend, a lot of people didn't get out on Sunday to get leaves out. So, you know, as every year, we anticipate, you know, longer hours as we get further into it, as the stuff comes down. So,
You never know the timing.
no,
I did my work Friday and then Saturday, we were down, you know, just on.
unfortunately, we started zone 1 and we got down some streets, and you know, within a day or two, they break them right out behind us as they're able to, and we have no control of the weather, and we have to keep marching forward. So we only hope for, you know, the weather hold out for us to get around again. The fall loose brush pickup was completed last week with the Packer trucks. Medium, I wouldn't say super heavy, but we did have quite a bit of loose brush that residents took advantage of the loose brush to pick up. So
Noticed in some of the neighborhoods, there was some clearing by an outside company, probably for grid, for the
Yep.
rear lot lines, and then they're putting that out. Were they picking that up?
yes, they come back and chip it.
They came and chipped all their
Yeah,
own
they
stuff.
do. Yeah.
I think we did.
No,
That was a lot of material, you know.
Right, they've been good about it. They bring it all out of the backyards and they stack it along the road, and then they come back and chip it up, so. They're done pretty much because the people do tell, so. But they've been really good about it. I can't complain about how good they're doing
Yeah.
in the right ways and stuff like that, and. It's for a benefit to our people for power outages and such, so. Kudos to them for. That's not much fun doing what they're doing. So. Another thing on the yard waste that's not in here, but yeah, you know, when you go to work, leave. Your cars out in front of the leaf pile. We can't get them if the cars are there. Please do not throw sticks in the leaf pile because we'll leave it. We can't pull the sticks out. It damages the machines and all that. So. Keep in mind, keep them clear, keep them clean, and we'll do our best to get them up, so. Number
Parking in the street, I'm sorry. When is?
November, so, and I know the police department has been saying they will be enforcing that. Normally they send out just reminder notices on windshields to try to get everybody that, hey, it's that time of year, so. I know I had heard at their last committee, they spoke of that, right, Elena? So they're active on that.
Yeah.
Yep. Number 6, tentative resolution for the hiring of a maintenance worker, which we spoke of. Number 7, disc golf and low mow. So the disc golf, we started using the new mower. It's pretty extremely wet, but we wanted to get up there and try it and see how it worked on that heavy stuff. And I think it's going to be a really good answer to what we have going on up there. We're able to mow down the invasive species that was a concern with the low mow people. It's a different style of mowing because it's a little more rigid, so it's kind of trial and error with the different swales that are there. The old one floated the wings. This one is more rigid. But it actually leaves a pretty good cut. And we think it will be suitable for disc golf too, you know, with their pathways that will be able to more routinely mow them, keep them areas nice. I spoke with Matt last week. He has his yearly maintenance coming up for the landfill cap. So as we mow, we have to look at identifying some of the manholes that are up there. Some of the PVC pipes that stick up that now that we're in a low mow. Scenario up there, pilot program, they get lost in the grass. And I don't want to damage them. You don't want them damaged. There's some manholes, over time, the land sinks a little bit, so Matt has agreed to, once we get a majority of that mode to go up there with me. We're gonna identify some areas, put some dirt where we need to, gather them out so that we can mow around them and mark them and be able to identify the areas that they're in.
What about the standpipes, the PVC? Are you gonna,
Oh, they knock right over, Bill.
They're fine. Hide them or you?
No, they stick up 8 to 9 feet in the air. We can find them easy enough. It's the smaller infrastructure and the manholes and the inspection ports that have a tendency, sometimes they stick up, sometimes they're a hole, so it all depends. Not huge, but enough where it disrupts the mower and we don't want to damage anything, so we'll identify all them and make that right. Highway garage, the mechanics are getting a few of the trucks, because that's all I have for staff in the garage are the mechanics, so. The trucks that are not used on leave, the few of them that we have, we're suiting them up for winter operation, putting sanders on, servicing, steam cleaning. Running the sanders, loosen the chains up and lubricate them, so that. We at least have the ability, if we get a freezing rain or a light snow. To respond in a timely manner. Until, the first heavy snow and then we start stripping down the other trucks, but at least we have a first defense in the way of,
You're putting plows on too?
just wings right now. Plows, we normally can get in and off, pretty quickly. So it's a small amount of trucks. It's only like 3 or 4 trucks and a couple 1-tons, but we have something to respond if needed, so.
Be ready.
There are not a lot of options there because everything is on leave, so. I attached a flyer, to the back here for the loose leaf pickup. I left a pile of them downstairs, where you walk in the door, cause I know this time of year, a lot of residents come in and get their stickers and stuff for the barrels, so just in case, it is on the website as well, so. We try to make it as easy as we can so that everybody knows our schedule and everybody knows our rules as far as doing this, so. Easier the better, or they can just call us. As they do anyway, but, yeah. So, anybody have anything for me?
So we're not, so confusing yesterday, and I should know the answer to this, but. Do we usually have any garbage cans down at the parks at all?
No.
We do?
No.
No, okay, all right.
Carry.
Carry. I just, you come in, just asking about.
All right. This is the ready portion, ready for you, Matt.
I know we already, we approved the minutes of, Ben Kathy, putting everything together on those, I know it's. A lot of work, so I appreciate that, thank you.
Yes, we all do.
Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
During these items, I just have 2, we had 2 water lines that were installed by. Developers over the last year or so. Now, once they accept those, typically we would normally accept them as part of a road, but. They were built along an existing road, so there's no resolution to accept them. So they've been approved by DOH.
They have to know.
The one is ready, the other one, and the one on, everything should be ready by then. It's not within a week now. Because, we need to use that line to make this work. So, there's several people pushing to make this happen, so I see it. Well, very likely that it's gonna happen. If not, we'll see. Water and sewer maintenance. We are still looking for, maintenance workers to make 2 open positions. We'll continue to interview, and then if I have, good applicants, I will, forward those along and do a resolution, but it's gonna hold it on there as a tentative idea.
Are we doing advertising for those?
I haven't done anything more than normal recently. We did some initial, stuff I think we did on the website, and a while ago we did something in the paper. I'm just not finding a lot of applicants. I
I
have,
also went to a job fair,
yes,
Schenectady County Community College job fair, we handed out slips about it and made up a little flyer that talked about the benefit of benefits, basically what the actual monetary value of everything was. So I brought back a few resumes for that. We're having a really hard time.
Gotta keep trying.
yeah, I mean, we have a little bit of a lull right now. We're transitioning from summer to winter operation, so. Wait a little bit, but I don't wanna hire just the first person that comes along either. I like to have a group of people to interview them and then be able to pick and choose.
And this time of year, outside places are downsizing for their winter
Yeah.
operations, so that may bring an increase. I know a lot of the applications that I reviewed, you know, their hours are being decreased. They're looking for, pretty much, they all say, looking for more steady
Steady work.
work. So that it may come around for us, but it has been a struggle all year long, and
Especially in the summer, because they're getting all the hours they want, people who are on the private sector, and they're getting cash. And then it's hard to, pull them away from that, and like Ray said, if things start slowing down, then they start looking long term.
We'll hope for the winter and get some.
and I think the new work environment, there's a lot of leisures that, you know, we don't have, but I mean, other outside firms have that, you know, working from home and such like that. So, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, times are changing now.
But as Beth said, very hard to compete with the benefits that we offer.
Right.
Long
No,
term.
I agree, and just gotta get them here.
Yeah.
Just an update to more simple work we're doing right now, clearing the easements, our water and sewer easements, with the brush hog. Also with the one we purchased last year. Over the last 3 years, we've been writing one every year, and it really made it difficult to try to get everything done all at one time. Now that we have our own physical equipment, we can fit that work in around emergencies and other things, so that's working very well. We just finished flushing the hydrants in the zones, here at the city. We had to wait for the city to do their flushing, so that we can follow up to our flushing. And, I mentioned earlier that the water main on Aqueduct Road, our crews are working to, prepare for a insertion of a pressure reducing valve on Walcom Road, which will be a very large project. It'll take, more than a week to complete. We're not doing the work. It's Rivers Ledge, the contractor who built the Rivers Ledge as part of their approvals to do that. But there is a lot of work on the town side to, verify condition of valves, do flushing. We don't let anyone on the outside touch our valves or do flushing on our system because it's unsafe to the water system. So,
That's part of the Aqueduct Road
yes,
water line.
yeah. So that work will be done at night, probably in about 2 weeks. So we'll have a crane there and set the structure in place. The way it looks right now, if everything goes as planned, we'll have one house without water for the duration of the connection, which should be 6 hours or more. So that may require boil water, county health department on that. The rest of the properties, we should have a little backfeed on that new line that we talked about.
So as soon as you know when that's gonna happen, we wanna get that on the website, probably
Yes.
put our sign out there, the billboard
Yep.
sign, road will be, down to one lane, whatever night, whatever time period that's gonna be, right?
Yes, and the contractor has worked with DOT. They have a stack of paperwork like this that they've been filling out traffic control plans, train lifting plans. So, we'll do our part on top of everything that they have to do as well. We're, let's see, utility billing, the all, residential, and commercial utility bills will be due on November 11th. This is an update, just minor, look at the bills, paid. We have the third quarter corporate utility warrant that will be ready for the town board to approve next meeting. Wastewater treatment plant, oh, one other thing in utility billing, I'd like to have a meeting at some point set up because of the rate changes, so we can discuss how we're going to communicate that information. I know we did a great thing of using the phone that you set up, Seth. I'd like to try to use something similar this round to better help people get questions in a very efficient way.
We can make that happen.
Yeah, we've been a little bit of time, but I just want to make sure we have that ready to go. The next, let's see, wastewater treatment plant, the organic waste program. We need to ramp up the acceptance of the out of the waste. Things are going well with the program. We're working with ESG right now. They have a couple of additional waste streams that are interested in coming our way that we have current approvals for. So we're working with them to improve the selection that we have, so we have more variety. I have down there operator training for SUNY Morrisville. Keith Moore, the chief plant operator. I'd like to send him to management trainings at SUNY Morrisville. It's the environmental school that's set up as part of the college there. The course is only $450, but there's lodging and meals. So it may require finance committee approval on getting the final numbers. If not, it's going to be, we need provide your approval. Kathy was able to identify the source for the money to pay for the training. Water treatment plant, just an update on the upgrade project. Our new transformer is online, back on natural grid power for the majority of the plant. We're still doing a lot of work on the controls for the pumps that deliver water to the system, but are at the plant. But the controls for the offsite pump stations, those are all converted to modern, computerized equipment, so that we're no longer relying on 1960s technology. So it's nice. The operators are very happy. Provides a lot more information on how everything's running. It saves a lot of time on our part. Recycling center, transfer station, and landfill. We did the fall shredding event and TV and electronics recycling event a couple weeks ago. We had tremendous turnout. I think we had 6 tons of electronics that we collected, and we almost filled the shredding truck again, which I was told was a larger truck than we've had.
Steve, bring a big truck.
I want to thank all the people who volunteered to be out there on Saturday, and Kathy, all the work she did to coordinate that as well. And one thing regarding the landfill, we did mention our annual monitoring. Scheduling that now, it'll be in December. We had a 3-year contract, so there's no additional board action that's necessary. They locked in a price of $4,500 for last year, this year, and next year. We budget for that annually, and that's part of our post-closure plan that we have to submit, monitoring to DEC. And one thing that I don't have it anywhere on my agenda for it, but Ray mentioned the ponds that they're going to be using that new mower for the ponds. I'm going to have Nick go out, especially since we had the snow. We'll reminder that winter's coming. And so Nick's gonna go out and do the annual inspections of the ponds and the outfalls, the stormwater system that we're required to make. Probably over the next week or so. And
I mentioned it years ago and it never really happened, but kind of a book
there is a book. Yeah, we have a book here.
for us to recognize what ponds are supposed to.
Yeah. And ideally, if you had someone that got along with them too, that'd be great, but I know it's a bad time of
Scrap
year.
right now,
Yeah.
but I definitely would like to have, from a maintenance standpoint,
Mhm.
from our point. Which ones are supposed to hold water, because if we're mowing them and there's an issue, at least we can identify it if we have a little background.
Sure.
on
And
the
that-
ponds.
If that information is helpful for us when we do the annual report, that counts as an inspection. And when your guys are there mowing, they would identify any major issue.
I mean, we're really hoping that this is a game changer for us and the way that we can maintain the ponds. I believe it will be. And I believe it will benefit long-term for our detention basins as far as upkeep and long-term upkeep. So
One person, two people you're training?
we're gonna have a couple people, probably 3 by the time we're done. Cause we'll probably send them out in a team, like I had said, to switch off mowing and weed whacking, cause you're still gonna have to do around the fences, around the very end of the pipe. So there is still a little bit of manual labor, but it's not 5 guys with walk behind bush hogs in a bad situation. So, we're really hoping that once we get through the cycle and, with the help of them and identify things that this can really improve the longevity of our systems.
We do have a binder that has a drawing of each one of the ponds, so. Definitely.
If you should have Nick make me a copy of that as well, just in that way, if we have any questions from there, we'll, instead of I can consult with Nick or,
That's great.
and I would like, maybe once we start mowing it, if Nick is free to actually go out with the guys and, it'd be nice to get his feeling on, if he's inspected them, get his evaluation of that this is gonna be better or, what we need to do to improve it.
And
So,
we love to work, anything we can do to work together on that, because you have to do all the maintenance on it and we have to do the inspection, so it makes sense to work together.
well, I think it'd be good collaborative and I think we could probably get some good data out of there and streamline it and make it better,
I didn't
actually.
try some, try to send
Yeah.
Nick home.
Right?
When they're doing the work, right?
Yeah,
It's a pleasure to work with, so. My neck,
that's all I had.
if we can keep them quiet.
Does anybody have anything else? Our next meeting is December 7th at 8 AM right here. Motion to adjourn. Second. All those in favor? Any opposed? We're adjourned. Everybody.
Record time.